Alright guys, today I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts on Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg's newest alien sci-fi mystery or conspiracy thriller that really doesn't do a whole lot. Yeah, I'm super sorry to disappoint guys. This movie was not that good. And before I go into just why this film doesn't work, I'm going to give a very brief breakdown of the actual synopsis and what this film is about. So, this movie is a government conspiracy thriller and kind of a action-adventure chase story. So, the very first act I really liked, actually. I liked that it opened with a lot of energy and kind of mystery around the main subject matter. So, we follow our main character, Daniel, who is a former employee at this private company called Wardex, which is contracted by the government to suppress any and all conspiracy theories related to aliens or other illegal stuff that the government usually doesn't want people to see. So there we go. We have something interesting. I like how it opened with the bad guys immediately knowing where he is. They kidnap his girlfriend, and Daniel gets out of the situation using the special MacGuffin that Wardex is after, and throughout the entire film, that's what he's doing. He's trying to essentially get away from Wardex so that he can expose all of their secrets to the world. And apparently, the plan is to do this on, you guessed it, Disclosure Day. Yeah, real original there, guys. Okay, and in addition to that subplot, we also follow Margot. Margaret, played by Emily Blunt, who's a weather woman, working for Kansas City News, and she suddenly, out of nowhere, starts experiencing something weird. Like, she starts glitching out on live TV, and Daniel is able to recognize this, and it's as essentially just alien code. And eventually, their two story arcs converge when Daniel is kidnapped by Wardex, and Emily Blunt's character, who's also trying to look for Daniel psychically, although she doesn't know why. She's kind of guided by intuition, if you will. And so their two arcs merge where they work together. Daniel helps Margaret kind of gain a hold on her some of her abilities, and they go to meet up with the other resistance group, the defectors from Wardex, who also want to expose what the government is doing. And so they meet up with Hugo, played by Colman Domingo, who I really like in this movie. I love Colman Domingo as an actor. And they basically learn more about their backstory. They learn that Daniel and Margaret, were kidnapped as kids, and they were both kind of given abilities at the same time. Margaret with psychic abilities, and Daniel, he was just made a math whiz, so he can kind of understand what the aliens are saying and kind of decode a lot of their language and ideas, because math is a universal language, apparently. And so they work together through their psychic link to kind of, in the end, it culminates with them revealing all this to the world, and on live TV, they get to meet the alien that brought them together. It's this old alien. Like, he has like the classic like 1960s alien design, like of the little green men, but he's just taller and kind of old, and it just ends there, I guess. So this was a movie that definitely happened. Alright, and now I'm going to go into before I go into some of the things that I didn't like, let me talk about some of the things that I thought were actually decent in this film. I thought the cinematography was amazing. It was really well done. I thought it was really engaging. I loved a lot of the wonders that they had during the chase sequences. You can never go wrong with there. And also, the music, it's really good. John Williams has come back, and the legend never fails. He delivers a great 8 score. I mean, yeah, it's not as memorable as some of his other iconic themes, but it's John Williams, and he can never really go wrong with him. And I also thought that the performances were pretty decent for the most part. I wasn't ever disengaged by their performances. Everyone from Colin Firth, Emily Blunt, even Josh O'Connor did really well with their performances and what they did. Now let's talk about some of the things that did not work for this movie, which is everything else, including the story, the pacing, and I'm just gonna say it, the premise. So, talking about the story, it's just all over the place. I think the first act does a really good job of setting up the idea of the weird, interesting MacGuffin. My big problem is the second and third act, where after leading up to a very interesting point, it seems like the characters are less guided by their actions and are more guided by the story. The biggest problem I see is with Emily Blunt's character, and the main villains, because Emily Blunt, like, in the second act, like, she's given a very important role, where she breaks Josh O'Connor's character out of Daniel out of the Wardex security facility. But the way she finds it is by pure coincidence. She's just driving and she just somehow manages to stop on the road and find out where they are. And also there are a lot of insane coincidences with this film. Like, the bad guys are incredibly incompetent. The Wardex security guys are pretty stupid in that, like, they seemingly always let Daniel get away. Biggest evidence of this is, like, when their location is found out after Colin Firth's character uses one of the alien artifacts to project into Daniel's girlfriend's mind. He is able to pinpoint their exact location. He sends an entire armada, and Daniel is able to easily sneak past them, steals one of the cars, and then drives away with his girlfriend. They drive towards a cliff, and as they're hiding just feet away from the bushes, the security guards act like they have horse blinders on and just are, like, immediately calling for backup. We gotta get this car out. I'm like, what? Dude, they're right there. Like, yeah, it's coincidences like that that are mainly meant to accelerate the story over actually developing the characters or actually exploring what that device even does. Like, I don't think we even get a single clue as to how it works. It's implied that it is connected to the aliens and their secret magic, but it's never fully explained. It's never explained why the government is doing this. Why are they specifically doing this now? And yeah, I felt like more disappointed with this film because people went into it kind of expecting it, to be a government conspiracy thriller about aliens, but they probably expected it to touch on more relevant aspects of that concept. Yes, there are a ton of government conspiracy thrillers, but what is it saying that's new about that subgenre? And I think that was the biggest missed opportunity with this movie. It could have touched on the idea of private megacorporations being as powerful as governments, maybe make a Palantir connection, or touch on the idea of how people have become so desensitized to conspiracies that they no longer believe it. I felt like that would have been a more interesting angle if it had explored more the tired tropes of the genre and tried to explore how those are challenged or how those are reinvented in a new way, instead of just trying to make Minority Report and Close Encounters on steroids. So those are my overall thoughts on the film. I thought that it was pretty disappointing, especially for Spielberg, and I felt like, it just didn't say anything new. It just said a lot of things that we had seen before, but packaged up to seem like it was interesting. But anyways, guys, let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys thought of Disclosure Day. If you guys enjoyed it, if you guys think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and be sure to hit that notification bell to stay updated for more content.